This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi.
Against the Flow of Mississippi was written by Anthony Oksenholt and was published by Oksenholt Biloxi Publishing, LLC. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Yeah, this a revolution in our time. Everybody's fighting, change coming, yes. That's why it's an acronym for riot. Everybody has a voice. Don't you dare stay silent. If you say nothing, you are an accessory to violence.
They've had their say. Seems like they've had that kind of say around here for too long. I had to stand up for myself alone. I went in there to remind them that somewhere in this world there's still a little law and order left. To let them know in the only kind of terms that their kind understand is that they can't bribe or threaten their way out of what they did. To let them do this to me and get away with it, and you give them the eternal right to do the same damn thing to any one of you.
Access 228, your host, Anthony Oksenholt, where we report the facts and we are not for sale. If you have a news story or something that's on your mind, please feel free to give us a call at 228-337-2099. Be glad to have you on. Thank you for listening, and we do appreciate all that you do to support us and keep free and independent journalism doing what we do best. All right, y'all. If things just don't keep getting better and better and better, I don't know what to tell you. So, interesting things have happened tonight. Other than the fact that the South's fixing to get hit with a hell of a snowstorm. ICE in Minneapolis, surprise, surprise, have killed another U.S. citizen. Murdered. I have the video. Let's go ahead and look at the video now.
ICE murdered 37-year-old U.S. citizen who had a legal conceal and carry. They took his legal weapon first, then they murdered him. I will show you the proof. Here's the lie from DHS's McLaughlin. She said, someone approached the agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. And then there's stock line. Fearing for his life, the agent fired defensive shots. Here's the video of what happened before the shooting. The victim did not have his weapon out. His weapon is concealed inside his waistband. He is trying to help this person that they just pushed to the ground. He's not attacking anyone. They mace him first, and his weapon is concealed, so right now no one knows that he is armed.
Fuck people! The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly!
Now here's the damning evidence that proves this was murder. This agent in the gray hoodie enters the scuffle. Both hands are free, no weapon in his hands. Right here, he reaches into the victim's waistband, takes the victim's legal concealed carry pistol, and he turns and he runs off with the victim's concealed carry pistol, and then the other agents shoot the victim. In this angle, you can see how many rounds they fired into the victim. Every single round was fired after the man in gray had already taken the victim's concealed carry weapon. Minneapolis Police Chief O'Hara said that the 37-year-old man was a lawful gun owner, had no criminal history, just one parking ticket. Simply being armed is not a crime. It does not justify being shot by these agents. Even if his conceal and carry was a threat, which it wasn't because it was in his holster at his back, but even if that was justified, the agent in gray took possession of that weapon before any shots were fired. So the justification of killing this man because he was armed goes out the window when your own agent takes possession of that said weapon. And now Stephen Miller is calling this murdered man a domestic terrorist. Please share this video, set the record straight. Americans, we have to wake up. Federal agents are murdering U.S. citizens in the streets, and the federal government is protecting the murderers.
Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. And I'll do another video. As you can tell, I'm kind of in my kitchen. I'll do another video, frame by frame analysis of the use of force. Anyway, I'm in my kitchen because I'm fixing to cook supper. I am home at least until Monday. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what else happened. And it's all relative. Apparently, I'm a liberal now. You know what? I have some liberal leanings. I have some conservative leanings. I have things that I love and hate on both sides. I'm complex. You cannot fit me in a small box with my views, because my views are not small-minded and closed like my fist. My views are very broad. Seems like the right and the left wing just want to fight each other. Me, I'll kick all your asses. I digress. Excuse me a second. Anyway, so here's the deal. If liberal is the new stand up for the Constitution, then I guess I'm liberal. Because about this guy that got killed who was a legal gun owner in Minnesota, a state that from what I'm understanding is a may issue, not a shall issue state. I could be wrong on that. Somebody correct me if I am. He was murdered by ICE agents. Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm leaning more toward this is now about the time to opt for violence up there. Because the government apparently does not give a shit about the interest of those in Minnesota. And this is the second U.S. citizen this month they have killed. Less than 3 weeks, and they killed 2 U.S. citizens. I have a problem with that. We've gone to war with people over this shit. Beirut, all they did was hijack an airplane and hold some Americans hostage, and Reagan came through and kicked their asses. Now we have an entire U.S. government paramilitary organization invading an entire fucking state and killing U.S. citizens. Somebody also said to me today that they didn't particularly care for my language on the subject. Al Capone is quoted as saying, "You get further with a gun and a kind word than you will with just a kind word," and I tend to agree with him. The Second Amendment was given to us because we were going to fight tyranny. We just fought it. We got done fighting it. 7 years we fought it. 1776 to 1783. And in 1791, our founding fathers decided to add the Bill of Rights, and the second thing that they said was a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I wonder why they wrote that. I wonder why they wrote the Fourth Amendment. I wonder why they wrote the First Amendment. I wonder why they wrote the Fifth Amendment. I wonder why they wrote the Sixth Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, the 10th Amendment. Can anybody answer those questions? This is bullshit and y'all know it. And Trump, fuck you. Yeah, I said it. That makes me a liberal because I say fuck Trump. Guess what? Fuck Obama too. Fuck Biden. What does that make me now? Oh, I know what it makes me. Somebody who has the ability to think for himself. I'll be whatever you want me to be as long as you understand I'm somebody that is a hell of a lot smarter than your average fucking Fox or fucking CNN worshiper. Y'all up there in Minnesota, my heart goes out to you. There are U.S. citizens that are being detained by a federal government agency who has no right to detain them whatsoever. Zero. And you don't tread on me, people? Y'all better take them Gaston flags down because you don't fucking deserve it. Don't tread on me means don't tread on you. Means don't tread on anybody else. I'm sorry, did somebody not understand what that meant? Patriots, I believe is what you call yourselves. Let me tell you something. You can be a patriot and absolutely despise your fucking federal government. I do. Of course, I don't really consider myself a patriot. I'm just me. I stand on the side of what's right. I stand on the side of the Constitution. I stand on the side of law. I don't mean laws that violate the Constitution, because in my opinion, laws that violate the Constitution are illegal laws. Orders that are not legal are not lawful orders. If somebody has no authority to give you a lawful order, then their orders are not lawful, and you can politely tell them to fuck off. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying, though. The right is now saying, well, you know, they shouldn't have guns. I guarantee you, if Obama was in office and Obama was doing this, y'all would be all about your guns and everybody's right to have them. People say, well, blue lives matter. Okay, yeah, when they follow the Constitution, blue lives absolutely matter. When they violate the Constitution, blue lives matter don't mean shit to me. Just like when black lives matter until they start doing dumb shit and violating the law and, you know, looting and shooting everybody and having, you know, doing shit and committing felonies, then the black lives don't matter to me. Those ones that are doing that. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying all minorities are bad. I'm saying there's bad in every goddamn one of them, and this shit needs to stop, post, haste. Y'all have a good day. Anthony Oksenholt, Access 228. Oh, and by the way, fuck you, Christy Nome. While I was rendering this video, I had to stop. Y'all listen to this Mickey Mouse bullshit.
Address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the street. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. About hundreds of protesters then showed up at the scene. They began to obstruct and to assault law enforcement officers. We saw objects being thrown at them, including ice and other objects. Crowd control measures were deployed to bring safety to the public and to law enforcement at the scene. And once again, I want to remind everybody that this situation and this tragedy did not have to happen. Our law enforcement are doing everything that they can to protect the public.
All right, Christy. You know, it's so funny. I have to point this out. I have an ex named Christy. Actually, she's my daughter's mother. And you know what? She's full of shit too. Maybe it's in the name. Let's break down this use of force right now. All right, y'all, let's break this down. Looks like they're already fighting them. Let's see. Okay, they just shoved somebody. They sprayed him with the OC. They're still fighting him. Okay, somebody realizes that he's got a concealed carry. They're punching him in the face, doing some hand strikes. All right, that guy looks like he just took a gun off of him. Yep, I see the gun. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Here's my thoughts. First off, they killed that guy. They murdered him. They disarmed him and they shot him. There was no call to go use lethal force. But again, here's what's going to happen, y'all. The DOJ and the FBI is going to step in. They're going to take over the investigation. They're going to shut the state of Minnesota out, and they're going to shut out the Hennepin County prosecutor, district attorney up there, and people will be talking about it for a while, and then it'll be business as usual. Yes, they used excessive fucking force. Period. There was no reason for that. No call for that. Now you have my analysis. Fuck you, Christy.